Considering this is probably now my 7th season that I've been involved with the club, so I joined in 2016 as we got midway through the season where we got promoted up to the Premiership for the first time. And you suppose you reflect on the journey the club's been on for that time. It's been quite the club's in a very different place now to where it was when I first started, and to experience that whole journey and see the influence that Pat has brought into the club, the Lansdowns and what they've done, and to be a part of that has been amazing, both as a player and in my opportunity when I was injured to do that as a staff member as well. It's been a really amazing experience to be part of a club that has gone through so much change, and it's kind of really pushed itself forwards to try and be one of the best clubs in the country. And I'm sure in the future they're going to be pushed on to be a club that's going to be successful in Europe as well. I mean, I had a conversation with Pat. I had to consider retirement at 26. I'd only been a professional for 3 years. Used to be in your prime at that point, and really hoping to kick on. And I thought my rugby career was probably over at that point, but he offered me the opportunity to offer my services to the club as a professional development manager, and bring what value I can to the club off the field. And I really enjoyed that role, and I thought it was a really good period for the club, and I think that role has definitely added a lot of value to the playing squad. I really enjoyed it, and I think it shows a lot about the value that Pat and the Lansdowns have put in people to keep me involved, and realising that there's an opportunity for me to come back. He saw that I was the right kind of person that would apply myself to try and get back, and the fact that it did, that role has kind of gone on now, and it's still there. But the fact that I could come back as a player as well, it's kind of when I first got injured, there was the dream to be able to come back and put the shirt on again, and to have done that and play a fair few more games has been awesome. I think it's quite funny that I was in an office job like 1 July, just finishing up as the club, going back into pre-season. Within 12 months I'd been called up to an England squad to tour Australia last year. So it's funny, obviously I joke with all the rest of the guys in the ops office, what should you be doing in your time off there? But no, it did go really well last season. To have that opportunity to call up internationally was an amazing experience, something that I really enjoyed. Challenging myself and being competitive at that level was really good. And I think it shows a lot about the faith that Pat had in me, that he believed that I could come back, and I had the opportunity to go and represent the country over there. Obviously I didn't get capped, which was a shame, but the experience was just was fantastic. And I think it just shows if you're competitive and you're willing to work hard, that you can kind of do the things you want to achieve. And I feel like the club's been there to support me through that the whole way through. I think for my rugby experiences at Bristol, I think it's definitely important to thank a lot of people that have helped me in the journey. Mark Irish gave me the opportunity. Him and Sean Marsden had a big impact on the academy coming through. I think a lot of guys here, very thankful for the work they put in early into a lot of us young guys, so that we could go and thrive. And I think a lot of the coaching staff in general have been fantastic. And I think when you think of what you learn as a player, a lot of that you get from the coaches, and how you develop. And I think they've all been amazing. I think Pat's driven such a good culture here that you feel like you can always develop as a player. And I think the other element as well is obviously that I'm going to be moving on. I'm going to be sad that I don't get an opportunity to play another game with Joe Joyce and the other boys, because they breathe this club as well. So it's a shame that we don't get to sign off together in that last game. But unfortunately, my last game was a win against Bath away with him, which was good. So there's a lot of people that have contributed to the journey, and I'm really glad that I had an opportunity to play for Bristol for so long as I did. And obviously there's been lots of ups and downs in the time that I've been here. Obviously going through promotion and then relegation, and then coming back up, and seeing how the club's gone on from here. I always think of the best times I've had when we've beaten Bath at home. We had that in the first season of the Premiership when we got relegated. That was kind of one of my first big senior games for the club. But you always see it when you go away as well. You see that the fans are making the effort to travel up to games, and you always say hello to them after the games, and you think, God, these fans, they really do live and breathe this club. And they're a huge credit to the city. And it's just such a privilege to play at Ashton Gate. It's an amazing experience. The atmosphere is always great when you come out, and you always, no matter the results, when you speak to fans after the game, they're always proud of you as a team. So it definitely gives you that pride to wear the shirt. And I'm not Bristolian, but I do feel like I've been here now for obviously through university, and been here for like a good 12 years of my life now, and I'm really love this place. So I'm glad that I get to represent it as well.